South America in general getting more and more competitive on the international stage every single year. They're climbing in the rankings, and Riyadh Masters could be the peak here for a South American team. Evil Geniuses would definitely be the team to keep an eye on, because I guess Beast Coast didn't make it. Meanwhile, Quest, you know, maybe in a shorter period, but similar kind of idea, they have also been scaling up the ranks pretty quickly.
And already starting off with a free ward for Matthew.
Yeah.
Probably the hero you want the extra XP on here. The entire region is once again on EG's shoulders here, as like you said, Beast Coast taking early exits, and maybe a position that could do well for them because they are bouncing back from Bali. Like, that tournament was disappointing. They had some health issues and stuff there that didn't pan out for them. It was just a rough tournament. I think at a certain point they wrote it off. Go next. Well, going next is working out pretty well. If they can do well in this series, then they're in a very strong position. However, Quest, a very tough opponent to be going on in their home region, so to say. Always have some home court advantage. It does help a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I like that story of them bringing in Malik with the Kazakhstan roots.
Yeah,
They had played together. They're very familiar. I think that's part of the reason that it's gelled so fast.
Did they actually say that they had played together?
Yeah.
Well, I went back through their history, and I was like, these, I could not find a team that they were on together at the same time.
Oh, I don't think TA 2000 played with them.
Oh,
they were just familiar in the scene. Like, they came up together.
Yeah,
and I think
exactly.
that kind of tells a story of why it has worked so quickly, because from my point of view, I did not expect them to continue to excel at the level that they showed at Bali when you change a player. Not just because it's ATF or whatever. I just think anytime you switch an offlaner especially, so much of the dynamic of the team changes. The farm priority, the tempo creators, the initiators, your hero pools. It's just a big gap, right? Malik is a very different player.
And we so put offlane as maybe the most important role right now.
I think offlane's always the most important.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I talked to other analysts. They agree the same. So, you know, to have such a crucial role be changed is always very important.
It's a very cool team. Both these teams are very, I want to say greedy and fast at the same time. In a way, you have the highest GPM team at the tournament in Quest, I believe. They are #1 right now.
Oh, really?
So they are extracting the most gold off the map. And then I always feel like Pakaza eventually ends up in the top 2 or 3 carries in terms of how much gold he's taking off the map. And he's definitely going to take higher percentage compared to most carry players. But I feel like him and TA 2000 are actually very similar. If you look at how these two carries are trying to drive the game and control for their team, 1, it's a lot of farm priority, but 2, it's joining a lot of fights with that farm priority and being pretty active with the gold, paying it back with high KDA, and Malik off to a fast start with Primal, even versus this Clockwork lane, which can sometimes cause you problems. That is a good sign for Quest, because they kind of had to choose between throwing this Primal mid into the bat matchup or picking another mid laner and sacrificing an Aura Buyer. They took the latter route, sacrifice an Aura Buyer. Primal's going to give you more damage. He's not going to necessarily give you like what an Underlord would have or something in this game, but you get the better matchup on mid in the Storm Spirit for Noob. So if you can get the Primal and the Storm out to a fast start, then this Naga's going to push the waves in, and you're just going to be picking EG apart on the map.
Do you think that means that Kiori on the Phoenix is going to try and pick up some auras when he can? Obviously, it's going to be much slower than an offlaner getting it. Or are you just writing off auras entirely in this game?
No, I won't ever write them off. And I mean, Phoenix is a great hero to make up for a lack of sustain just based off the Sunray. I'm going to try and go on Matthew here. Even have the extra blood grenade.
TA 2000 with the early pickup of the Ensnare will help ensure that they get this kill. And looks like the Fire Spirits will do what damage it can, but Kiori will eventually fall in return.
All right, I don't think Matthew's too sad about that. I think they rather accelerate the Beast here. Honestly, I think the Edge can probably have some impact if you can get that one Storm gank in. That's what you're looking for if you're Matthew here. More than maybe lingering around the bottom too much longer, though getting your level 3 delayed is going to feel bad.
Yeah.
One of these interesting combinations also, I think, the Phoenix Primal Beast, I think, is an underrated combination. Because I don't think a lot of people think of Primal still as this BKB piercing disable.
Yeah.
Due to that chain. It's not ingrained in people's brain. It's not like an Axe or a Legion. Still, it functions the same way. The Primal can go in and protect the egg. And then Sunray on the largest strength gain in the game. Pretty damn good.
Yeah, yeah. No, that actually makes a lot of sense. They both have a decent amount of mobility as well, which I think is pretty nice.
The range of initiation is very similar on the two heroes. There's not a lot of supports that can follow up on a Primal going super deep in the fight. Phoenix is one of those while providing AoE control in the egg. These heroes just work really well together. I think it's
really nice body blocking here from TA2000 with the Naga Siren. Now he's going to lose Kiori, but TA2000 will happily take the solo experience. He's going to make diamond mid. He's going to pull back C-Smile. C-Smile in some trouble here. Unable to get the kill on the Storm Spirit, and now we'll experience a rebuttal here from Omar with the TPN. Should be able to secure the kill. A wand, but one final hit, or a second final hit, or a Fate Bolt will finally do it.
Yeah, a Lotus of all things. So them winning top translates into that kill. I don't know if he gets it without the Lotus for the Fate Bolt, man. Yeah, a lot of little things going Quest's way as they are already jumping out decently ahead on 3 lanes here. Winning in net worth and all of them on top of that CS. Great early start for a lineup that wants to have the damage out in front, so when the push comes through the Beastmaster and the Enchantress, you can respond accordingly with your Storm and Primal, meeting them at those towers and shutting them down. If that happens for Quest in the next like 5 minutes here, they're going to be super happy with the map state, because then all of a sudden, where are you going if you're EG? You got to just run your heads into the brick wall that are going to be the tier 1s that Quest are happy to defend every time. Sure. Especially for their 2 supports. Rubik and Phoenix, you keep these tier 1s up, these supports are going to get a lot of early levels on top of a Wisdom Rune, and then you're cruising in the fights. And Matthew is just continuing to suffer down here. He has not had the laning phase that I think EG wanted him to have so far.
No, not at all.
And that mid gank is looking like a dream. A far, far away dream at this point.
Yeah. Not going to be able to get there before the Storm Spirit hits level 6. So Matthew's going to have to find other ways to have impact in this game.
This is your one window to try and abuse Noob here if you can get it. He's not 6 yet. You have the catapult wave for the Bat Rider. You don't have the level advantage because of C-Smile's death earlier. That's the part that sucks. And
yeah, Matthew is not getting there anytime soon. He's going to be heading back to the fountain, in fact, because getting off the healing ward should be fine here.
And Quest know what's happening on the map right now. They know the clock is off the lane top. Noob has played super defensive mid, and he's gonna hit 6 off of 1 XP.
Oh god, he needs one more creep, but he's not gonna be able to find it. He turns around, goes for the kill on the Panda. His only hope was to kill the Clockwork and then zip away. Doesn't get that and will die. Trades out kills with Panda, but ultimately will fall short of hitting that level 6.
I think Omar should have been a little more ready for that. Maybe they're laughing it off. They don't care. They did steal the rune away from the Bat Rider as he makes the rotation. And he's probably laughing because now he's taken all the mid XP with a DD.
Yeah.
Who's the real mid laner here? Nice little cheeky bounty rune deny with the creep. So at least Matthew's getting something done from the grave. Not what you would like in this game, though, as the early tempo for EG has not been there. They're going to have to make it up somewhere else. Probably with some beast pushes, or maybe just stacks for the Juggernaut and the Beastmaster. That is something you can fall back on here.
Don't forget about your Wisdom Runes. Uh-oh. I see a little Kiori Phoenix sneaking up the side here. We'll see if they can get back in time.
He just more wants to stack. It's just going to end up dying. That's more XP to the Phoenix.
He's going to dive in front of him, see if Kiori can body block him, get this Wisdom Rune in front of Whisper's face, and he does. They get both Wisdom Runes, and there's no stun to stop him.
Out.
He's going to TP out.
Literally out, as that Phoenix Sunray is better on the new map, because... Actually, is it better?
I think it doesn't bump you back as early.
Hey, I feel like you end up going deeper off the map than you used to.
Yeah. So it's because they put that extra high ground area. TA2000 slow down off the enchant. A big kill that EG really needs to get things going, but unfortunately Omar is there to be able to respond. He tosses Panda back into his allies and saves TA2000's life.
There's just not much going wrong for Quest right now. This isn't a crazy lead they built up. It just feels like they're getting a lot of the small victories, and especially the experience for their 2 playmakers plus the supports is what's going to shut down the push when it eventually comes for EG. Because
yeah,
it is going to come.
Level 6 on Rubik.
Yeah, that's huge. And now they can start to make some aggressive plays of their own. C-Smile's not had much help in this game outside of that 1 clock rotation.
And the levels on the supports will make the difference here. The higher damage coming out from both of them.
No
Omar
rune
now
lock,
gets
though.
level 6.
Noob needs to work on his rune capabilities here.
Yeah, sadly,
that is
another one taken away.
That's one of these skills that we always talk about, right? It's like, how many runes do you get? I think that's one of the reasons gaming have done so well this year, is because Quinn, he really practiced abusing the runes.
Yeah.
I think it's like Noob.
Was that something you experienced when you were playing with him? What did he do? Did he like will it to happen? Did he say like top to like kind of channel?
Oh no, he just has a script.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You gotta make sure those scripts are working. Not to call them out or
Radiant's
anything.
middle tower is under attack.
You know who used to complain about runes the most of any player I've ever heard in my life? I bet you can guess, actually. It is a mid player.
I mean, it was Quinn.
No, it wasn't Quinn, actually.
He was definitely one of them.
Quinn didn't complain about runes. He complained about other random stuff, like people spraying stuff over the creeps in mid so he can't see the HP bars or random stuff. Like, you know, the stuff that, why is this in the game? That's a Quinn complaint.
Okay,
Dire's
okay.
top tower is
Who
under
complained about runes?
Sumail.
Yeah, I mean, he is a pure 1v1 player, right?
Exactly, yeah.
He finds power runes to be a slight on
Now,
the integrity of the mid
Funny
lane.
story. Do you know who he complained about the most?
Quinn?
No, this has nothing to do with Quinn. Stop bringing Quinn up.
Who did he complain about most as in
Dire's
getting power runes?
Yeah.
are fortified.
I don't know. Who would have been?
Fada.
Dire's top tower is
Fada.
under attack.
I'll finish that story later. EG looking for some momentum in this game. Early Nets have done some work for TA2000 as well, giving them some extra lockdown. But that is a Vanguard Beastmaster. It's
Yeah,
not the
you're-
same boy you were picking on earlier.
You're not touching him unless you have another core. Now, you do have one rotating in. That's going to be Malik. He's going to go for the double support kill here.
Beautiful.
And he does line it up perfectly, nailing both of them with the onslaught and bringing both down. Kiori will actually be able to pick up the double kill. So these supports are flourishing on the side of Quest. My goodness.
It's all that early XP, man. Wisdom runes, some of the kills, the lane going a little bit better. It is just paying off in a huge way as they're accelerating the net worth, but the levels, like you said, is what's really winning the fights. And this is the issue for EG. The lead's not crazy. It's just you don't want to be in this position with heroes that need to push the towers to open up the map because of how Quest's lineup responds. It's just so easy for them to jump you, lock you down, bring the cores together, and they don't lose too much. Now you have an Arcane Rune Storm to put to work. This is just free mana.
Yeah, this Bat Rider's having a rough time right now. He's going to try and kill the Phoenix, but the Supernova's going to go off after the lasso, putting Panda and the Juggernaut, the stolen lasso from Omar, pulls him away from the successfully exploding Supernova. They will bring down 3 members of EG, more people teleporting in, but they cannot catch Quest.
What a sick play by Omar. That is just a game-winning play right there. You get so much. That's like a 3K swing off that lasso because I think Pakaz for sure kills that egg.
Yep.
Instead, Pakaz dies. You don't even get the Phoenix. Everybody lives from Quest. You get more TPs out of EG and the Beast going mid to try and salvage this fight. You do not want to be giving lasso away to this lineup, and those support levels, they are so far the MVP for sure. Egg is baiting you in. Omar is sealing your bait. And that's one of the few spells that can actually go through the spin here too.
Yeah.
Because not happy about getting dragged into this fight as he's trying to get the Battle Fury. And now you're on a catch-up duty if you're EG. You're losing towers, you're losing fights, and you're not gaining any map space of your own.
EG crazy far behind now. 7,000 net worth lead for Quest at 12 minutes.
It exploded out of nowhere. It was kind of building up in a lot of little things. That just opened up this game.
Dire's bottom tower is
Your
under
Juggernaut
attack.
he's almost 3K behind on this Naga Siren. And this can be a good matchup in the late game. You have to be able to get there. Normally, you'd also have some stacks or something here. Because you're getting sucked into these fights, you have some ancient stacks. Some of those went to the Beastmaster, though. Whisper has the stack for himself as he's trying to get to this Ags, which is what the Beast Pick's designed to do. Kind of help deal with the Naga Siren through the drum. Later, that gets delayed.
Dire's middle tower
Also
is
makes it a
under
little bit harder to get back. So you're probably trying to push towards this Aghanim Scepters on the Beast and take a good fight off that if you're EG, which means more Ancient priority going to Whisper here. So Pakaz, find what you can, son.
Yeah, I feel like everybody needs the recovery. But as you said, they probably have to play through that Beastmaster, so it leaves C-Smile and Because without a way to recover.
is under attack.
And that means Noob is just getting a free-for-all. Like, he's getting every power rune here. Malik can push lanes aggressively along with TA2000, so you're going to have space, you're going to see heroes, you're going to have a lot of information to operate on. Witchblade already done, Haste Rune in his pocket. Noob is really strong right now. Look at how aggressively they're pushing. This is what you want to do when you're ahead. You take these tier 1s, get into the enemy jungle, get into their space. It limits their moves, limits their comeback, limits their vision. PG are running out of space right now. They're getting constricted, which likely means you got to smoke out. You're going to have to find something with this roar into some team fight.
Has fallen.
You're still missing some support levels, man. You don't have 6 on either one.
It is 13 minutes in. And they're stuck on this safe lane tower situation. C-Smile shows up immediately. Noob is going to pounce onto him, easily bringing him down. He played off map for quite a bit, let the supports take the mid tower. Just waiting and waiting. Eventually from EG, somebody was going to show themselves. And look at Malik. Is he actually going to get this kill? He might, just because he's able to get that final swing in. Whisper, meanwhile, who's trying to keep on the Ancients, is going to be shoved out of there by Quest. Now, Omar has a beautiful little spell to take for the next team fight, something Bakaz is going to have to worry about once again.
I think Bakaz is worrying about a lot of things right now. He's worrying about him from the grave. This map just absolutely collapsed for EG. Quest putting on a clinic right now, and they're trying to continue feasting on their bones. They will not get Whisper here unless he decides to throw himself back into the abyss.
Look at this. EG, all of their members, all in like some little tight corridor here.
I mean, they gave the Wisdom Rune to Bakaz. That tells you everything you need to know. And Nuba's invaded their areas, taken everything away from them. And the issue is the Bat Rider from mid is pretty kill tempo based. So when you fall behind, you get this bots.
That's a BKB Primal Beast, so you are not touching that. Malik wanted to be able to grab C-Smile, won't be able to. He's in fact going to be lassoed, pulled back in. I'm not sure if they actually want to do that to the Primal Beast. Malik is happy to keep fighting here, especially Noob, who's going to be jumping in, grabbing Whisper, pulling him back out. The Preble Roar, stalling up some of Quest, and will allow EG to disengage. But once again, EG, I mean, when was the last time they got a kill in this game? They've only got 3 of them.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Actually, I am curious. Yeah, I guess almost 10 minutes ago. Those are centuries. So it has been 10 minutes. They just don't have the single target damage. That's why the early game had to go better, because the Enchantress and Clock, very strong laners. They have very good spells when they're ahead and can punish enemy supports on the map, push them out of areas. In these types of 5-on-5s, the Rubik and Phoenix are just way out damaging them here. And the impact that Omar has had in this game has been ridiculous with the Stolen Lasso and Roars. These are not spells you can afford to give away. Battle Fury is up for Bakaz. He's going to start to pick up the pace here. You can stall this game out for a bit, maybe condense the lead slightly. You can get some good fight out of your Beastmaster Ags. This game can turn. Still have a decent mid-game group up with the Healing Ward, with the Beast Aura. Some good BKB piercing spells and the Roar and the Lasso that, as good as they've been for Omar, can be good for you. You just can't keep feeding kills to this Storm, man. He is on a mega kill streak now. And you know he's going to have every power, and that's the scary part. Like, every time Nuke goes for these kills, he's just getting it refilled in the river.
Yeah, don't really need that gas station, that mana filler, if you've got free rune control all the time. Both power runes and bounty runes lightly, because it's not like EG can take that part of the dire jungle. Turn around, but immediately gets stunned up. He was hoping, he knew he was caught. He was just hoping to turn around, maybe get off an Omni Slash, buy a little time for himself, because Whisper was coming over, but now Whisper's dead, right alongside Bakaz, and Panda's gonna join them in the same mass grave. 3 members of EG down, triple pickup for Noob. This is just a slaughter.
Yeah, do you just like call it soon?
Soon, yeah, I think you do.
It is one of those games you might call just to preserve your mentality at this point. It's just, I don't know what your options are. They are running out. I'll tell you what a very good sign in a game is. When you have your Wisdom Rune sitting there for like 6 minutes, because nobody wants to go to your side of the map to take it.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the signs you are winning a Dota game.
Yeah, when you get to go back and it's like doubled up.
Yeah, it's just
haven't
sitting
been
there
waiting
waiting
so long.
They don't even need it.
Well, Panda's breaking records, not the records he was hoping to break here in this game. Most deaths in 17 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, his legs have been broken.
A few times. I mean, it really hasn't, because if his legs were broken, he would be staying inside of the fountain. Maybe be better if he couldn't move at this point.
Well, he's clockwork. He gets the cyborg assist.
I see. Bakaz in trouble once again, is going to find himself potentially chainsaw. No, gets off the up slash with the lasso on the storm, but the damage wasn't quite there. He lives with just 70 health. Malik, he's also trying to limp away here. Finally, maybe EG can get a kill. Oh no, I've spoken too soon. Malik is still slowed down. Flame break back. Nobody here to help him. Okay, They do manage to get it. Nobody from Quest could get there in time, it seems.
They're looking for more. They have a hook shot here. You've got to get something off this window. 40 seconds, no primal on the map.
I mean, even if you get it, there is a song available that they can reset off of.
You need to land. I mean, this is the defensive fight that EG can. I'm surprised that they didn't try and go for this before, like bait out Makaz and just be ready for that go, because it's been happening top for a long time.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a fight anywhere else in this game. However, you bait them in and land your stuns, you can burst down the Storm Spirit. It's not invincible yet, as Noob barely got out of there off the lasso Omni Slash. That'll be ult down for EG for a bit. However, they're going to come up pretty damn fast here, and we're already seeing the value of this Sunray in this game. It's a very powerful spell when you get it up on 4 points this early, especially with these tanky frontliners that Quest have. It has done work in the sustain department, and a heart second for TA2000, an even better target for this Sunray to just pump the heals into here. He's almost got 3,000 HP. Your Primal's got 2,500. These are some chonky boys.
Anybody want a Roche? At this point, Quest can kind of do whatever the hell they want.
Do have this drum Ags up on the Beast, and you do have level 2 Omni Slash coming up. I think this is a window where if you're EG, you kind of have to take a bold smoke and try and find a big core kill into contesting some objective here, because you still have 3 tier 1 standing for Quest. You just need some space to stall this game out right now, and this is one of your power points to do it with. You gave so much Ancient priority to Whisper. He has to use that Ancient net worth in this Ags to pay it back in the fight. BKB up for C-Smile as well. It's a decent window to try and find something. There's not a lot of damage from Quest that goes through the BKB here. So in theory, that's also a lot of effective value. At least until this Naga starts to ramp up with Butterfly, Bloodthorn, Nullifier, this type of shenanigans.
Yeah.
Of course, level 2 Egg, also pretty nice for Quest as they can protect it a bit. This looks very familiar.
That Omni Slash is going to land because right in the middle of the Supernova. He doesn't feel like he can go for the egg because he's too low on health, and they managed to save it. Once again, the supports were committed, but they do not get the final blow to finish him off. And even Bakaz, who gave an early retreat to this fight, is going to be chased down by the rest of Quest.
There's just nowhere to go. And I asked the question, where's your Beastmaster, EG?
The hero you were supposed to play through.
He's not there. He has TP. He's walking to this fight. It's the same situation where Pakaz is trying to bait a fight into the tier 2 that could be some sort of good setup for EG, and they're just not all there. Maybe you can come back in this game, it has to be around those types of fights.
Yeah.
It's just not been there. Different priority on what they want to do in this game. Not an easy position to be in, but you have to be ready to capitalize on the mistakes if Quest are going to make them, and I don't even feel like EG are ready to do that. It's just been all miss for them this game. Nothing is hitting. Now you're down 20K. At least these Roshans are not dropping too fast. No BKB for C-Smile.
Noob may have, used a lot of mana there. He needs to chill out a bit, see if he can find himself an arcane rune with this 22-minute power rune spawn.
Malik has just been a wrecking ball this game.
Kills Matthew, and Panda, who hook shot away from the fight in the river, will be killed as well off of that one. Oh, Whisper showing up to this fight, half health. Noob will collect on that kill because he did indeed get an arcane rune at the 22-minute mark, so he's making grand use of that.
All right, he upped his rune skill here a bit.
All right, because is defeated by a Tormentor. Doesn't die, but you know.
The best of us.
It's under attack.
I mean, he's just trying to get anything for his team going. EG are going to bring everybody in here. Secure at least some objective in this game, as this is one of the lowest tier 1 tower damage games I've seen from EG in a long time. They rarely get shut out on the objectives like this, particularly when they have some heroes who can do it. It's heroes across the board, right? It's just not even been close to happening.
Kill the Tormentor, use a smoke, but not feeling comfortable with their target of choice. The Primal Beast was in their way.
Lincoln's already done for Noob. This is so damn fast. 23 minutes here on a Storm. When you have 2 other items as well.
So you can't kill the 2 tanky heroes because they've got Sunray, which is going to offset any damage you could do. And now the Storm Spirit, the one hero that you could maybe catch with a lasso or maybe a hook shot or something, as this big defensive item in Lincoln's.
I mean, big items that come out for quests across the board. You can't really control the Storm anymore, and the Phoenix is controlling you as Kaori just rushed the Hex in this game, and he has it completed.
Yep, that's a classic Kaori move right here.
I mean, this is good itemization on the Phoenix when you have a game like this. I think it almost is always better to just go for the item you know is guaranteed good for the entire game rather than like some small drum or something, because they didn't need it.
Yeah, or Veil or something.
Absolutely secures it.
I feel like I can't remember the last time I saw Kaori go an item that wasn't sight on his Phoenix.
I think this is an okay itemization on the hero. I mean, you could maybe argue like Veil, drum, pipe. Theoretically, you hit a better window. You know, you're going to end the game before the Hex comes online. Still, it's just so damn fast here. I mean, what is the downside? Sure. Hex is never bad.
Lincoln's and now an Aegis for Noob. Look at that beautiful smiling face on the big screen. He is...
Nothing to complain about this game.
Yeah.
He even gets an illusion rune. That is a nice rune for this game. You disjoint some of the single target go attempts from EG, or you tank up an Omni Slash. That's all your damage gone. These Omni Slashes need to land for Makaz. They need to land big time.
Is under attack.
Got the pick off on Panda. So they're trying to funnel back into the base. They're going to go inside of the base, go for Whisper as well, with Pulverize slamming down Whisper. They'll get that kill. They do manage to get a pickup. Yeah, Kaori, who had a godlike streak, does die. The Omni Slash is doing some okay damage here. Malik, though, the one who's low, is going to be able to limp away, while TA2000, who's plenty healthy with his army of illusions, marching down EG, and he wants to make sure there is nobody who can escape from this fight. A song to reset up to kill as many heroes as possible. They're gonna go Panda again. That's gonna be a dieback for him. C-Smile did manage to blink away though. They kill Malik off a long shot from Matthew with an Infus.
And it looks like something here on EG. About as good a start you get, I guess, taking out the Phoenix, removing him from the fight. Through that egg, taking the Hex out. Sustained damage.
C-Smile will not be able to get the kill on Omar, and Noob will save his Aegis. He's actually going to go back. TA2000 will do a solo high ground push for a little bit.
You're going to try and wear through him.
Oh my god, he's dying so fast!
Well, that is a Beastmaster that used to be there. That's butterfly timing.
GG, yeah.
This game is...
it's been over for a long time.
It really has. As we saw, Noob considering Midas on Storm just for the post-game item screen.
Yeah, Omar tried to get a final kill on the Juggernaut with a stolen Omni Slash.
Man, that was a beatdown. That is probably the largest beatdown I've seen in this tournament.
Yeah. And against 2 teams that we set up as being, you know, the potential teams for upsets on the biggest of stages. Quest, it seems, at least at the start of this series, have the advantage over EG, who I will admit, EG, maybe it's a little bit of an effect of volley, but they have not quite looked like the dominant selves. They still look like a top-tier team. They're being